The mason bees have been really busy, especially on warm days, and it's the females that are now provisioning their nests and laying eggs. Starting to see, I think, a second species of mason bee as well. This one in the top left with this metallic abdomen, I think that's a blue mason bee, and I've never seen those before in the garden. The bees are really liking these tubes, but they will nest in any type of cavity or hole, such as an insect hole or a hollow stem, and they're unable to excavate their own nest, so they're really quite happy to use any natural or artificial site. Well, what the females are doing at the moment is provisioning the nests with nectar and pollen collected nearby, and the garden is actually alive with buzzing bees at the minute. Now they pack each of the tubes. It will take several visits to do it until she thinks there's enough inside the tube to feed a young bee. You can see the pollen on the abdomen of this bee because they collect it on their abdomen rather than in pollen sacs like honeybees. Now once she's provisioned the nest, she turns around and backs in and she lays an egg. Once she's done that, she'll seal off the cell with a mortar-like application of mud, and it's this style of nest building that gives these bees their name, mason bees. So inside the little cell, the larvae will hatch and they'll cocoon themselves by September, and they'll overwinter in these tubes until next spring, and at that point the life cycle begins again. Within a tube, the females are laid at the back and the males at the front, so it's always the males that hatch out first. You can see again there a blue mason bee just exploring one of the tubes. Now each female knows exactly which tube she's laid her eggs in. They have the sort of geographical location tool, and they can spot it by the configuration of mud and the shape of the hole as well.